What's up, guys? So today I'm going to be making this video on how to make trigger stops. Now I am doing this video mainly for one of my friends, Forrest, because he's been hounding me for it. No, I'm just playing, man. But yeah, so it's actually a really simple thing to do. If you don't know what it's for when you're playing Call of Duty or any game like that. When you pull down the trigger, you only really need to pull it down about that much to shoot. So when you go like this, you can have a way faster trigger finger or anything like that. I mean, I don't know, say what you want about it. I don't know. It's a pretty neat thing. If you were to buy them, they're about $20, and all they give you is just these triggers. So you gotta take your whole controller apart, put them in, and they'll just have pre-made stops. I don't know, like to build this, it's about like 5 cents. So, all right. So all you're gonna need really is a controller, screwdriver, and your screws. And I like to use these screws with the flat surface on them. They sit really nice in there. I mean, if you got longer screws, you could use them as trigger extenders, but I prefer these. The things that will make this easier is having a drill and a vise. If you don't have those, it's not necessary. But anyway, back into it. So the first thing you're gonna want to do is, I already have mine marked out, but I don't know if you guys can see them. There's like a little scratch going straight across the thing. So go on whatever game you're playing, pull down the trigger until it does whatever it's supposed to do. So Call of Duty shoot. Pull it down until it shoots, and then hold it right there and get a knife and get it to as close as the bottom right here as you can, and cut a line across it so you know where the trigger stop has to be. And once you're done with that, you make sure you have screws that will fit on here that are not too wide, and they are not going to split it in half. So I would recommend having a second controller. This is kind of just a, if you got another controller laying around, thing to do. But if not, I don't know. If you do it right, you won't break it. But the easiest way I think to do this is getting a vise. Now, if you don't have one, it's not a necessity for this, but it definitely makes it a lot easier holding the controller. But if you don't, you can still do it in your lap or whatever. And then I would recommend getting like a rag or something to put over it so it doesn't scratch your controller. And then you get your controller, put it in there about where you want it. Don't tighten it too tight, because it probably will snap the controller. I have not done it yet, and I don't really want to. So tighten it just to where you know it's sturdy, it's not going to move. It'll be fine right there. And then what I like to do is I like to get a drill, and just smaller than the screw that you're using, because if it's too big, the screw won't fit in it, or you're just going to have more problems. But I like to get a smaller one, so it creates a pilot hole, and I stick it not right on the line. Do not stick it right on the line. Stick it a little bit above, and I'll show you in a second when I'm done with this. Don't just try drilling it straight through. It'll take a minute. Go slow at it. Get the hole started. Make sure it's straight. And another thing is, once it goes in, do not go any farther, because if you end up sticking it through, you might mess up one of the circuits or something like that. Let's see. Alright, once it focuses the hole, it's not exactly center, but it doesn't really matter. And my line is right there, so that you can still see the hole. I'm sorry if it's not focusing. But yeah, you just drill a little hole. That's not even that's not a must, but it definitely helps a lot better for putting it in, because if you just try screwing it in there, it will be pretty difficult. Now that one should be a little bit more center, but this is just for demonstration purposes. And then whatever kind of screw you're using, it's going to be a flathead. Get a flathead screwdriver and put it right on it. I guess this would be easier to do in the vise also. Now this screw is a little bit bigger than the nice. The screw is bigger than the hole, but that's what you want. And you just keep screwing it until it goes in. Now, if you start to see like a white line or something shoot up your controller, that's because either the screw is too big and it's starting to split it. So if it does that, just don't put it in anymore. Try to find a little bit of a smaller screw. Or something like that, because if you split it, then I guess you're gonna have to buy real trigger stops. And then it's in. I'm not gonna do the other one just because I'm just showing you it's the same exact thing on the other side. But now that you have it in there, the best way to do it is to find a screw that will go down to that line that you want, or just move the hole down more. But now it'll just go down that much compared to it definitely helps a lot. I put them on both sides for people that quickscope or whatever. You just touch it just a little bit and it goes. Anything like that, pistols, every time you hear that click is really a shot. So it is definitely a thing that I use when I play. I'm gonna be probably upgrading to a scuff controller one day. But well, there you go, Forrest. There is your video. Very simple, guys. If you guys want to see more of this, I'm using this as a Tip Tuesday video, like I said in my last video. So I know today's Wednesday, or no, today's Thursday. Wow. But yeah, so this is going to be Tip Tuesday this week. There you go, trigger stops. Very easy, very cheap. If you guys like this, leave a like. If you disliked it, please leave a comment why you don't like it. And post your questions for Q&A, because I'm going to be doing that in a little bit. We'll try to get about 10 questions or something. But thanks, guys. There's just a little simple trigger stop. And if you guys want another one of these videos, just tell me that you want it. Alright, thanks.